Hello and welcome to my new Overwatch miniseries, One Fight, One Side. In this episode, I will go over how the name already suggests, one fight out of one POV from one player, and just talk a little bit about what happens, what are the decisions you have to make as individual, and I mean, of course, as always, also talking a little bit about how the general team plays out, the team strategy goes, and what generally just happens. So for the first example of this series, we will take a look at the Contenders, I think round of 8 it was, between Yap and Sheercold on Lijiang Tower Control Center. And we will take a look in the POV of Skairipa, the young and beautiful flag support, exactly. So to just give a general idea of what happened kind of before this fight that I want to go over. Yeah, the green team here, Sheercold, just basically won the first fight, and where they are now looking here basically for some stagger kills, but Young and Beautiful already kind of regrouped, and yeah, they're basically waiting here, getting ready for the second fight, and Skairipa just respawned, and yeah, let's just go into POV and watch the fight. So of course we do it on normal speed. I will just commentate a little bit on kind of what happens and what are the decisions basically you have to make. So to stop already here a little bit, to just take a look at a general kind of compositions that get played. Of course, in this case, it's a mirror matchup. Both kind of teams play the Brawl composition with the Junket and the Symmetra, and the Baptiste and Lucio. I don't really want to talk too much about why and why the character choices are made. We just accept that this is this is kind of the compositions they are playing, and let's take a little bit of a look what you actually want to accomplish. So especially with the Brawl composition, of course you want to stay together. You have the Lucio to both Lucios to kind of pace aggression. You can be really fast, you can be really hide aggression, depending on how the situation is, and obviously how the fight plan will go. So we're also playing here with a Symmetra. It means, okay, Symmetra generally better the longer the fight goes. She wants to farm up her beam or her left click, and also Junkrat, which obviously is a spam character, and the longer he can just spam from one angle, he will also be more efficient. And yeah, so basically what is the kind of as we already mentioned, okay, we're still playing a Brawl against Brawl kind of here fight, but we're still looking really to play it more slowly and play for these angles, especially for the Junkrat to spam behind the shields, because we just want to spam on the Rhine shield. I mean, this is just not as efficient. So we of course want to deal damage behind the Rhine shield. So, and also as we all know, the control center has one really accessible angle, and this is obviously the right room. So this whole fight will really be about right room control, who can create kind of this counter pressure, these two angles, one obviously from the point, which will mostly be the two Reinhardts playing against the other, and then which Junket or which team can access this kind of flank and has this two-pronged pressure, which will most likely guarantee the point control, especially over a longer period of time. So Young and Beautiful here, they're just approaching, healing a little bit, and they will come from main. And as we already see, Sheercold, okay, everything happens a little bit fast. Maybe I should have said it before. So yeah, as we already see, Sheercold is just kind of holding with 5 players on the right room, and they just leave Shade here as a Reinhardt main tank on the point to obviously not being the point doesn't get kept, but the most of the pressure is here on the right rooms. And we also see here on Young and Beautiful that they're also putting their DPS on this attempt here to take the right room. So this is the most important fight. But really interesting here play from Young and Beautiful, and that's also obviously one of the reasons why I want to go over his POV, is the TP play. Let's go a little bit back. The moment kind of they approach from main, Symmetra sets up the teleporter and lets Skairipa teleport on the right side. So what does it kind of do? Or basically, after this, he also puts his immortality, puts the window up, and just has a really strong heal and burst damage or long range attack from the right side. And as I mentioned before, if you just go really quick back into kind of the overview, with this play, normally what happens is that both teams kind of fighting for this right room, but with this play, basically they open up one more angle, which will allow Young and Beautiful to pressure the point from the Rhinos perspective and also from Skairipa's perspective. So even though that Sheer Cold controls the right room, they're also now getting pressured from the point. And they have to make a decision now. What do we do? Like, can we somehow, we need, like, Shade needs support. Like, the main tank from Sheer Cold just needs support, because if not, he will just die from this pressure. And what do you do now? Do you push, basically keep pushing here and just, try to deny this angle, so you still kind of have like this, maybe this pressure up? Or do you somehow take care of this of Skairipa? But the problem is, of course, he's like so far away from anybody else, like from a potential Lucio Boop, or from like anybody who can like get to him. And of course, he always has a DP to just go back if he actually gets in pressure. So this is a really nice move to kind of just open up the fight. And from there, we just see also the immortality field on the Reinhardt. I will actually slow it down a little bit. And extra healing to just keep him alive. A little bit unnecessary reload. But yeah, now obviously we also see like how Shade just has to hide from this window. Like nobody can really peek this window, and especially not Shade. And now, like, because this are also like fighting here and trying to push on this side, like where does Shade wants to go? Sheer Cold now decides to kind of rotate back on the right side, but it just opens up the white room even more. And obviously they want to rotate on the right side so they can actually support Shade in some manner. Now we see like how he is like, just with this play, he opens up so much space for his other parts to just take this pressure on the right room again, and also actually clearing it out. Also getting Rapid there in return and getting a kill. And now is exactly the kind of moment which what I talked about. We have now this 2-point pressure from white room and basically the main, both pressuring the point. There is nowhere to hide, and Shade is forced to go back. And what Sheer Cold has to do, or like does now, instead of kind of reclaiming the high ground, they just say, okay, we have to like contest this point, or we want to win this fight. So of course they are generally in a bad position, so they just use more resources in the form of ultimates. And they just use the Metra as barrier and also the window from Baptiste to keep this point control alive. Really nice mine here from Backbone on Skairipa. Yeah, like it was actually a one hit. Not even sure, to be honest. Now he was a little bit low. We get healed up here. But yeah, with the obviously the abilication, or like with the matrix here from Baptiste, and then one hit from the junket already that kind of clears it out. Alright, so now it's we can just speed up here a little bit, because obviously we want to like still stay on the take care of Skairipa, of his POV. Nothing really happens here, just both teams kind of take it slow. Sheer Cold is trying to get the white room back, and yeah, it's just obviously playing it a bit slow, waiting for Baptiste to keep the pressure up on the point again. And here immediately we see, oh yeah, now we see kind of Skairipa returning, forcing Craven out there, and also deciding to, yeah, go back to the right side, healing him up. It's jumping a little bit. To be honest, the jumping part is a little bit too, like in my opinion, a little bit risky, because also like Lucio, of course, is there who can easily attack him, but of course he also wants, like with the jumping part, mostly wants to remain line of sight to his Reinhardt, so he can like healing up. And yeah, Sheer Cold was not able to kind of secure the right room pressure, and then we just see it now basically collapsing. How both teams, how like Young and Beautiful has like this two-prong pressure, and it finally, slowly, actually takes use. Even the shadow from Shade doesn't really do too much. They're also using the sound barrier here, even investing one more ult. Question would be if it's actually necessary, and winning the fight here. So now it's just stalling out, trying to delay the fight a little bit, and the fight is won. So to summarize a little bit what happened basically in this whole kind of sequence, which I find like really interesting, is the idea of, let's go back, right, is the idea of opening up basically the map with an interesting or yeah, with interesting kind of play, especially like just the Baptiste here on the right side, sorry, would maybe not have enough pressure, but with the window, solo window, just opens up this one angle, forces the main tank basically playing around this corner. And I would even have liked it, to be honest, if the either like the pressure here, the Junkrat comes from here, pressuring Shade and forces him back, and or like forcing him back and basically taking this as a distraction that they like the Sheer has to do something to the point because Shade has to go back, and then taking the White Room. But in the end, both kind of, or like both ideas kind of play it out perfectly. That with this opening here from Skairipa on the right side, you just get so much pressure on the White Room and are able to kind of take the really important angle on control center, and then with this two-prong pressure, yeah, finally at the end, getting the kills done. Alright, so this was the first episode of One Fight, One Side. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any feedback to this, obviously just leave it in the comments. And yeah, there's nothing more to say. Then also, if for more kind of videos, just subscribe and hit the like button so I know that you actually like this kind of format, this like faster format, not like this half an hour videos. And I hope we see us in the next video. Bye bye.